It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Giants. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Well, the Giants began play all the way back in 1925. And almost 100 years later, this venue was built to house their next era. MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Here to begin this one is Cameron Dicker. And we're off from MetLife. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. It's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
This is complete to Neighbors. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
First down, here's Russ. Catch made, Tyrone Tracy. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Stopped by Deion Henley.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 43. Finds his target, Robinson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I don't know, kid. I didn't think he had it, but that back did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the first down. Pops up right away and signals first down.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Russ now from the gun. Flush down out to his left. He takes it himself. It's out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
2nd and 3 now. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to first down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Now Wilson on the play fake. Has it left side, Brock, but the throw carried him too close to that edge. I'm going to say he brought it in out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
I'll tell you what, you give him another foot of space, and he's going to bring that in for a nice gain. The throw, it just didn't give him enough real estate to establish possession before he hit the sideline.
Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. They went for it and got the 4 yards they needed, and that keeps this drive alive.
Come on now. Was there any doubt who they were going to go to right there? That was always going to be a run play, and no problem converting on 4th.
They've worked it downfield very well to begin the drive. It's 1st and 10 at the 28. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Caught by Theo Johnson. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it, 1st and goal. Wilson now from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that sack going to cost them some yardage.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Gotta forget about 1st down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. Trying again following the sack. Caught near the goal line. And in, touchdown, New York. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Giants will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Gano ready to send this away. Darius Davis to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. So now we're going to look at the other offense as the Chargers take the field. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
True story. First time I saw Justin Herbert at a Pac-12 Media Days, I thought, that can't be Justin Herbert. That guy looks like a defensive lineman. He is massive. But then you watch him play and you realize he's one of those 6'5", 6'6" guys that's the athlete of a 6'2". The way that he moves so effortlessly, the way that rocket arm could throw the ball all over the field. Been hyper productive statistically. Kind of like that Fouts guy that wore the lightning bolt before him. On any given Sunday, this guy can put on a show.
Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Brought down by Paulson Adebo.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Gets this one to Harris. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Drew Phillips making the tackle.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
Herbert now to throw on 3rd. He finds McConkey. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it stopped.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face, because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And it'll be Giants football. The Giants taking the field for their 2nd possession. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their 2nd possession.
And Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
A handoff to Tracy. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. 16 yards on the play. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
From the gun, it's Wilson. On the move, headed right. He tucks it and takes off. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They're set up at the 35 now. Wilson on 1st and 10. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. They'll get 18 yards there. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down. And time runs out before they get the snap off. That's the end of one. 7-0 is our score. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. Second quarter about to get underway, and an opportunity to score here for the Giants. A give right side to Tracy. And he pushes it further into the red zone, down inside the 15. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Here's Tracy once more. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. A nice gain of 8 there, and it brings them to 1st and goal.
That's what I call a healthy return on investment. You run the toss play, looking for positive yards, looking to move the sticks, and I'm looking for that to be called again.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Tracy can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
While the offense is looking for a possible touchdown, Kate, it's the defense that's stolen the mojo with that stop. This is how they teach you to defend the goal line.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. So now they're going to throw with Wilson. Escapes the pocket. And he will score. It's a New York touchdown. The Giants take a 13-0 lead. Russell Wilson with the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
Gano ready to send this away. Here's a return from the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So the LA offense getting out there for their 2nd drive. They haven't been able to get that offense going just yet, Brock. The deficit at 14. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Herbert now off the play fake. Dump off caught by his back. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Javon Holland there to make the stop.
You know, these running backs today, they are so versatile. It doesn't matter if they're running it, or in this case, same principle applies on routes out of the backfield. You don't get somebody close to him, that throw is headed his way.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Has a man, it's Tyler Conklin. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. On 1st down, they'll run. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior, 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. They go play action. Here's Herbert. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
This really isn't a route designed for a lot of yards, Kate. You're just trying to get a small handful and move on to the next down. Stay in rhythm. But anytime you can work some magic after the catch and stretch it out, those are welcome bonus yards.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. They'll have him gain about a handful there. Brian Burns coming up with the stop. 1st down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
On third down, Herbert. He has it at the 5. It's an LA touchdown. Well, great work there, Brock. They weathered the storm, and now they've gotten themselves right back into this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big hole, and all you can do is climb out of it. And the words of Pete Carroll resonate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chargers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Fielded at the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Giants and Tyrone Tracy are running back on now. They have played lights out on offense, scored their first 2 times out, Brock. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Russ is going to cook here. He gets forward, next about 4 yards. Stopped by Deion Henley.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
2nd and 6 coming up here. A give to Tracy up the middle. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Stopped by Deion Henley.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. Ross out of the pistol. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Herbert from the gun. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long. And it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
2nd and 10 now, Herbert. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up. So it's the 2-minute warning here from MetLife. It's the Chargers in an unenviable third and pretty far. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he'll have it up to about the 23-yard line on the play. The Giants using their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. So once again, J.K. Scott out to punt it away. And this will be his second effort of the contest. Got 46 on his first punt, and this one's pushing a little more distance. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. Man, it'll be their football. Good starting field position for the Giants as they head up 1st and 10. Now here's Russ. That's complete to Darius Slayton. And he'll get it up to the 44.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Slot man in motion left. Here's 2nd and 2. Completed over the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Russ now from the gun. This is complete to Neighbors. And they haul him down just a foot or 2 shy of the red zone. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Giants will have a first down.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
Wilson with it on first. He locates Daniel Bellinger. And he's able to get this down to the 13. Timeout called, and that's going to be the 2nd for New York. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Russ is cooking again. He brings it in. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have 1st and goal. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Graham Gano and the Giants field goal unit out. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset. They couldn't finish the drive with the touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Here comes the final play of our first half. One final shot before halftime. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. That's going to bring us to the end of this first half of football with the Giants holding things down in East Rutherford. Now down the coast we go to Orlando, Florida in our studio there. Jonathan Coachman waiting by with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Reports. In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Gano ready to send this away. Return coming from the 6. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Here come the Chargers for their first drive of the second half. That score made it 17-7, but they can cut it back to a one-score game here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. He's got Harris. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Second and 3 now. From the 31. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Nearly an interception on that play. So now they have 3rd and short.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. They're going to try to pick it up with an option left. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
They're set up at the 35 now. They'll run here on 1st down. And that plunge is going to garner a couple of yards. Tyler Newbin with the tackle. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is you put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road for what looked like a very plain play.
They've got a man in motion. It's caught. That's Mike Williams. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
1st and 10. Ball set up at the 48. Herbert back to throw. Gets this to McConkey. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. 2nd and 3 now. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. To throw, Herbert. To the right and pulled in by McConkey. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it brings up an LA first down.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Chargers will have a first. Herbert now off the play fake. Throw left side, complete. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
You know what I love about this? Never showing panic. When he leaves the pocket, look at his eyes. They continue to search downfield. They're never looking at the rush. They're finding the open man downfield before running out of real estate.
The give here on 2nd. And he'll pick up a little down to the 12-yard line. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now. Shotgun snap to Herbert. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Brown's kick is up and good. And that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead's 7.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Giants about to get to work on offense. And they were able to contribute 3 points to the lead their last time out. Another chance to build on that advantage here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Finds him over the middle. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 37. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Wilson now, 1st and 10. Hit some space around midfield. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. On the handoff, this is Tracy. He cuts it back right. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Hey, these are the type of games he's counted on to get when they're available. Unfortunately, we had tremendous vision to see the seam and get through it before that window could close.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Russ off the play fake. Gets this to Johnson. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gain 18 on the previous play.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage, he gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And he sails that one over the end zone.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Blitz coming, Russ. And he's going to take this across. Touchdown, New York. The Giants push their lead further to start the half. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Gano for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants double their lead to 14. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Out comes the offense now for the Chargers. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Play action now for Herbert. Finds a seam down the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Only one play in, Brock, and this drive already to midfield. Blown back, it's the handoff. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 48. taken in by Harris. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. This is the end of the third quarter. The Chargers have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Give now to the running back. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense. Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. So after the 5 yards are marched off, here's 1st and 15. Running it after the penalty. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Herbert from the gun. He's got time here. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. Couldn't connect with Ladd McConkey. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Herbert. Got Williams, and it's complete. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. They get 13 on the pickup. And it brings up an LA 1st down.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Herbert. Pass is cut at the 9. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gain 18 on the previous play.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. It's Herbert once more. And he has the Los Angeles touchdown. The Chargers now within 1 score in the 4th. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw up plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your second read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
Tiburon now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chargers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Gray now on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Giants and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Second down now, 7 to go. Putting a receiver in motion. Play action, it's Wilson. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. Into the secondary past the 40. Down the sideline into the red zone. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung them to get to the second level and beyond.
What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. 1st down, here's Russ. That one's incomplete in the end zone. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A close game is going to stay close, Brock, so long as plays like that are being made in big situations.
Yeah, in these tight games, you got to have your defense making plays just like that in the red zone. Here we got a defender in particular coming through with a big hit to keep points off the board.
And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. They get about 4 there, need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, New York! The Giants go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here, but his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his 2nd touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game?
Yep.
Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants double their lead to 14. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Possession switching back to the LA offense as they head out. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Herbert now, blitz coming. That's to the sideline. It's a catch by Williams. And he'll get this up close to the 40 before going out. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. Brian Dable has that challenge flag pulled. He wants to take another look at this. Well, we're going to see how much of a sideline maven he is, Brock. This one very close, whether he got the feet down or not.
And I'm so impressed by all these mavens because you've got to make that transition from college where 1 foot, you're good.
Yep.
But not at this level. You've got to be a ballerina. You've got to get those toes both in, and the replay booth will be the judge of it.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Herbert on 1st down. It's taken in by Williams. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And the Chargers will have a first.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
Working quickly here. 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
Fits it through the middle. Running in the red zone. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted.
I know exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh, no! Give me that one back! Because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
Now here comes the New York offense. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Here's Tracy. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 3 now. They go right back to Tracy. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Giants nearing a win here with a 14-point lead. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. They run. Here's Tracy. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Out of the option, he's going to keep it going right. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. With 1:54 remaining, the defense burns a timeout. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. A handoff to Tracy. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Chargers territory. The Chargers call a timeout. That's their last one. That's all they had. So the offense free to start running the clock down now. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Wilson now off the play action. He's throwing deep to the left side. This is brought in at the 15. And he drives this forward to the 6. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play, and that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. The Giants take a knee here, running out the final seconds to their victory.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So here at MetLife, it's the G-Men who come away with the win. They did their part, Brock, defending the home field, using that advantage to secure the victory. We know home field advantage is a real thing. And the crowd, they did their part too, adding to just an awesome atmosphere, helping energize those players at big moments of today's ballgame.
Yeah, it is super fun to win on the road. I'm not going to lie, to quiet the crowd. But you know what's even better? When you get to celebrate with your family, your friends, your hometown people, your community, and you know, more importantly, they played a role as that extra voice in that building, man. It is a rewarding feeling.